Okay, so I am going to give glass etching a try. I have found several links on Pinterest where I've done quite a bit of research, well, as much as I could in the limited amount of time that I have had taking care of my kids. And so I thought I would just go and pick up some stuff to give it a try. So I picked all this stuff up several weeks ago, maybe even a month, almost 2 months ago. Not quite sure. But anyways, I have two different types of stencils that I'm going to be trying. This one is actually a glass etching stencil. And I just picked up one. And I picked this one up because it had like the days of the month, or the months and the days and the years, because I have a project that I want to do once I can get accustomed to doing this. But I'm not going to explain that one to you right yet because I plan on doing a video on that one. But so I got that. Now that kind of puts me in a box because there wasn't very many to choose from that were actually considered glass etching stencils. So then I found a couple different types of stencils. I found this one, which is basically supposed to be for wood, glass, ceramics, and more. However, I think this is basically for painting. So I'm not sure that these are going to be okay. I'm not sure that they're going to work, but I stuck them on here and we're going to give them a try. This is just an old wine bottle, excuse me, that I've saved and washed just for this purpose, just to practice on. Excuse me, I have a horrible cold. My kids are sick too. But and then I also got these, and I haven't stuck these on yet because I think these are basically the same thing as these, just a different brand. These are the Martha Stewart brand. So I'm just going to give it a try and see how it goes. I have some gloves here because you don't want to touch the etching solution because it's an acid. So I have my gloves. I had a pair of scissors to cut out this one. I didn't need scissors for that one. And then I also have some glass pattern tape. Let's see there. This new iPhone camera is like, it really sucks compared to the old one. It doesn't focus for some reason. But anyways, maybe I need to go into my settings. So anyhow, and then I have some popsicle sticks that I'm just going to dip in here and then put a nice thick layer on here and allow it to sit for 60 seconds, and then I'm going to rinse it under cold water. Okay, so I put it on, I rinsed it off, and now I'm just going to take all this tape off and see what we're left with. Although, just from looking at it, I don't really see a change, so we'll see. So apparently I don't follow directions very well, and this was supposed to go on like a rub-on, and then I guess the glass etching that goes on here, and then you rinse it off. And apparently it just eats through this, and the water kind of like rinses this part away. I'm not sure, but from what I can tell, I stuck it on and not all the letters stuck with it, so I'm just going to stick another one on to give it a better go. Okay, so I have this one on, and you can see where I started pulling it up, but I tried to just rub it with my hand really hard, but that doesn't work. You actually have to take your popsicle stick and rub it pretty firmly. So let's see if this one all stuck. Yeah, I think so. Oh gosh, I can't even see. Let's look at myself. And I don't know why this phone doesn't focus very well, but whatever. So it's on there for the most part. It's kind of, some of the little areas aren't done very well, but we'll see how this works exactly. Okay, so now it's on. It looks like it wants to run off the bottle, but I guess because of the way it's shaped. So I'm just going to try to let it sit for 60 seconds. Hopefully it won't run off the outline there. And I'm going to rinse it off and see how it looks. Okay guys, so it has been setting for approximately 60 seconds, maybe a little less, maybe a little more. I didn't exactly time it with my phone, which maybe I should have, but oh well. We're going to see how this turns out. So anyways, I'm just going to rinse it in some water here. From what I read online, if you do like the dark colored, Yeah, I don't think it really did anything. From what I read, if you use dark colors, this is kind of like just peeling off the water. Yeah, I can see it, but it's, maybe it should have sat on longer. Maybe it has something to do with the color of the bottle. I read somewhere that if you use colored glass, it comes out white looking, so that's why I picked this color. But I have some other glass that I will give this a try on just to see how it looks. It has some clear glass, so see how this is going to look. This blue stuff has a little bit of a problem coming off, but just put it out there. Okay, so yeah, it worked. It came out nice, I think. Although, like I said, you could tell where the stencil didn't go on very well. So you can see a little, like right there at the S and at the D, it could be a little bit nicer. Maybe if it were a larger stencil and didn't have so much detail, maybe. Maybe I just didn't rub it on good enough. Maybe I rubbed it on too hard. I'm not really sure. So, but it turned out nice. So let's see how it will turn out if we do this one, which is not a dissolvable stencil. So the problem I see is with these are not reusable. However, I thought it said that it was, but yeah, I must have been mistaken. Yep, so anyways, we're gonna give the regular painting stencil a try and see if it works. I have the feeling that maybe the acid will be too much for the stencil and it may just eat the stencil up. So we will see. Hopefully it doesn't, because that seems like a much better idea if you can reuse your stencils. Okay, so this one is still waiting, and you can see that it's running down the side of the bottle. So this is definitely going to get etched by the acid. So maybe if you're doing a round-ish type project, covering the entire glass with something to protect it so that it doesn't get all over the place. I'm not really sure how else to protect your glass from running if you're in a circular motion. Maybe I need to look that up just a little bit more. But I don't see the stencil getting eat up yet, so hopefully we'll be able to reuse this one. We're about to see. I'm about to go ahead and rinse this one off. See where it's left us. Okay, so I got it rinsed, so now I'm just going to peel all this tape back and see how it did. It should have done well. It looks like the stencil held up pretty good, so I'm just going to take all this off and give it a look. Sticky, and I think that it held up very well for that project, so I'm glad to know that I can use something reusable and not use just one-time stencils anymore. And I believe it turned out pretty nice. I don't know if you can really see that. I think it would look a lot better on some clear glass. So I'm going to do this on some clear glass and then show you guys how it turned out. But definitely you see where it ran right there, and then on that side you can see where it ran as well. So I have to figure out a way to keep it from running like it did, because the project that I'm practicing for involves a round object, so I'm just going to have to keep practicing on something similar to this to perfect it. So yeah, that's it. Let's do some clear glass and see how it turns out and show it to you guys. Okay, so on the Martha Stewart website, I just went back to it to take a peek. The website said to leave the etching cream on for 5 minutes, whereas the package that I bought, that I showed you guys earlier, let me grab it right quick. This package that I bought for glass etching states on the back to leave it on for 60 seconds and then to rinse it off. Where is that at? So I can show you guys. Yeah. There goes my phone, not wanting to focus for some odd reason. But anyways, it says wait 60 seconds, then rinse off the glass etching cream and the stencil with water. So it hasn't been coming up very dark. This same bottle, which is going to be used for dish detergent, or yeah, dish soap, I did this same stencil on the other side. However, I did overlap them on the other side, and it left a little bit of etching cream underneath the stencil. So then I did them straight down without overlapping them. But you can see that I kind of have just a tiny little gap in between each one, especially this one right there. And I have a feeling that you're going to be able to see the line. But then again, this is, you know, I'm not trying to be perfect. I'm just trying to practice for what I really want to do. So this is just one of those practice things that I was going to do. We are going to replace these soap bottles with these like olive oil dispensers. I got this at Walmart for $2.99. So I'm going to etch this with the word soap, and then I had a pretty decoration to go around the bottom, but I'm going to do that last. I did it once on the other side, but like I said, 60 seconds is just not long enough for this to really do anything that's visible enough to make a difference. So I'm leaving this one on for 5 minutes to see how it looks, and then we'll rinse it off. I think I'll be more pleased with the 5-minute wait. So just for reference, this side I did for 60 seconds, so you can barely see the word soap in it. This side I did for 5 minutes. Let me put it towards the dark floor. There. This side I did for 5 minutes, so you can definitely see the word soap in there, so that looks good. This side, like I said, I only did for 60 seconds per packaging instructions, and you can't really see it. So you can see that the little lines got in there from where I didn't have the stencils butted up against one another really well. Sorry, let me wipe some of that lint off. And also, it looks like some of the letters, some of the etching may have got underneath the stencil a little bit. Not too much, but I'm going to have to get out my other camera. This iPhone is really just not doing the trick as far as close-up shots for some reason. But anyways, I think it turned out nice. Even though there is a little line in between each letter, I'm not going to sweat that too much. But I don't know if you can tell where I started to put the, where is it at? You can see the little flowers and leaves down at the bottom. I'm going to redo that and leave it on for 5 minutes and hope that it just turns out a lot better. So we'll see. Okay, so there you go. It didn't fill all the way up. It wasn't completely full, but anyways, that's how that turned out. It's okay. I'm not 100% happy with it because of the lines, and I don't really like the lettering style now that it's on there, but I'm just going to keep practicing with random pieces of glass here and there until I can get to my final project, and hopefully I can share that with you guys a little bit later in the month of October, possibly early November. We'll see. But yeah, I think it turned out nice, and this is basically just, you know, your regular soap that should pour out. There you go. Just pours out. So yeah, even though the etching isn't exactly how I wanted it to be, I think that it looks a lot nicer to have sitting on your counter than having this sit on your counter. So anyways, cute idea I saw from Pinterest. I'll make sure I link all that below for you.